What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode 32. That's right, 32. I'm your host, Trent, otherwise known as Dirty Assault, and I'm joined by my co host, the T to the J to the Tox to the Jedi, Toxic Jedi, baby. Tell him what it is.
Fricka Fricka.
Yeah, joined by my co host, Jeremy.
What's going on, y'all?
Guys, power to the motherfucking people. That should be that should be just the theme of this episode. I feel like I was like sitting there thinking about like all the things that have gone on this last week. I don't think there's a more perfect motto than power to the motherfucking people. Uh I think that you'll kind of see where I'm going with that. uh for those of you that have kept up with Xbox and Bethesda, that is. But in light of last week's episode where we kind of talked about Xbox and Bethesda, I really hit the grindstone on Star Wars, and man, I finally beat Star Wars Fallen Order.
Yeah, such a good game.
So good. It was one of those games that I took advantage of on PlayStation for the EA Pass, where it was 10 hours free. And I really just scratched the surface because I spent so much time running around trying to find stuff, and seeing it free on the Game Pass and just realizing the amount of games that were kind of there for me to play. I'm like, dude, I can't not play this. Like, as a Star Wars fan,
Yeah.
I would be letting myself down if I don't play this game. And so I did. And to be honest, man, I have to say that game is like 10 out of 10. It really makes you feel like you're in a movie. And
Yeah.
just knowing that in 2023 we have the next Star Wars game just gets me so excited. I mean, is there a better time to be a Star Wars fan than right now? I mean, seriously, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, I was like kind of looking at some Facebook feedback. I don't know why I even care what others think, but people were watching the first couple episodes and they were just dogging it. They're like, man, people are overhyping this show. And I just like was resisting my urge to just be like, no, you're the problem. And I was happy to see that same person posted by episode 5. They're like, yeah, this show's awesome. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, it was awesome before then, but
Yeah, it just depends on like what type of Star Wars fan you are. Prequels, originals, sequels.
yeah. Well, you know, I find it hard to believe that you could be a fan of the prequels and watch this show and not be like excited.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely like that brand of Star Wars fan is prequels all the way.
Yeah, like those actors just don't age. And it's just like, what the hell? And and so going back to now, like TV shows and games, and they're just like, Disney is really just like, we can pump as much money into these things because we know that we're going to get as much money out, and
Yeah.
I'm all for it. We've talked about the games, we've talked about the shows. They just seem to be hitting on all cylinders. I don't really know a show that's really just fallen flat, uh or anything that's really fallen flat that they've done Star Wars related lately. I mean, there's episodes, or I guess I should say there's been some of them that just aren't great, but they're not like terrible. They're still worth watching just to get a little bit of like added lore. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think Visions was their most like least successful show.
Yeah, it's exciting, as a fan of the show that has not as much knowledge as you, or like some of those deeper fans, but enough of a fan that like I get excited to get more and more. And I know that we've like really been heavy on Star Wars lately, but like it's hard not to be when they just keep dropping content.
Yeah.
But in light of that, uh sequels and and franchises that have continued to grow, I re-downloaded Fallout.
This man's taking the Bethesda dive.
Yeah, man. Well, Fallout 76 got an update and I wanted to download it, and
Yeah.
instead I was kind of more focused on, whoa, what would Fallout 4 be like on PC? That's something that I have not got to experience. And so the first thing I did was go directly to the mods and see like what was available. And for me, the building aspect is so fun, and I think that it's probably what'll burn and crack like burn me out before I finish the game. But
There's always one more settlement.
yeah, exactly. Well,
They
and
never stop.
and to be honest, I think that I I just enjoy the building, but there's at times it can distract you too much if you're that kind of person.
Yeah.
But it's a game that I feel like I can put down and maybe come back to the building later if I really needed to. But I was like kind of looking up cowboy names. I wanted to go with like a ranger cowboy build, and so I went directly to the internet. The name generators are always your go-to. And I seen Tommy. And for those of you that don't watch the Peaky Blinders, they just dropped a new season, and I'm like, yeah, Tommy, definitely going with Tommy. That's the main character. Love it. And then I was like looking at this name generator. Well, it was more like one of those things that's pick your birthday, first initial, last initial, and then this is your name. I seen one of those for cowboy names. And so I was just looking at all the options, and Slaughter was one. I'm like, okay, I'll be Tommy Slaughter. I'll have my own cowboy gang called the Tommy Slaughter Boys, and I'll try to build up settlers. Well, then I'm in the house with Cosgrove, and this dude's like, Mr. Slaughter, I think someone's at the door. And I'm like, hold on. Slaughter is in your database?
Yeah.
And it just like threw me off. So I think what is it? Cosworth? I think I said Cosgrove, but yeah. That little dude.
Pizza cutting
I made it,
machine.
yeah, I made it to him after you get out of the vault.
Yeah.
That's as far as I got. I didn't really push too far because, to be honest, I've done builds before where I've gotten really excited to dive back into the game, and then I get to just where you leave the first initial city, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not replaying this game. I can't. I know it. Yeah, it's just like I'm also just stubborn, on replaying games sometimes. Like, I know we have friends that can just sit there and replay Skyrim,
Oh
or
God, I can't even do that, dude. I can boot it up and make it to the mountain, and then I'm done. I'm like, yeah, this.
it's so hard to do. It's just one of those things. Once you've done it, you've done it.
Mm-hmm.
And Fallout has kind of gotten to be that way with me. But what really motivates me, I think, is to actually try to go and play all the DLC that they dropped for that game,
Yeah.
which I've heard that those are like really good storylines.
Yeah. Yeah, like the machinists and stuff.
Yeah. So, but in this Xbox Bethesda kind of news, one big announcement happened recently where they kind of talked about Battlefield potentially, or maybe this is 100% certain, they're going to be pulling the 128 man lobbies.
Oh yeah, they're
And
ripping it out.
yeah, and that was one thing that they promised for next gen. But man, are you upset about that? Because to me, like, people were kind of harping on it, like, yo, this is them falling, on their promise that they were supposed to fulfill for next gen. And part of me is relieved, not upset about that, because for anybody that has played, it is terrible.
Chaotic as hell.
It is. It's just too much. You would think it would be fun, but there's a reason why people enjoy battle royales because you're not engaging with 64 people at a time. You're engaging with like
Yeah.
a couple of teams at a time of 4-man squads or whatever. To do full on 64 v 64 is just God. No matter where you look, you're getting capped. I
Yeah.
think 32 v 32 is perfect.
See, but that's what I'm kind of worried about though, is because they built these giant maps to suit that,
Mm-hmm.
like that big number. So now I feel like they cut it in half. So now you're not going to run into people enough.
Yeah, even if they dropped it to like 40 v 40 or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know like what the magic number would be to be honest, but I mean that's what Battlefield's always struggled with. There's always like too much shit going on in the hallway, or you're just playing like marathon simulator.
Yeah, no kidding. But their older games were super successful. I felt like one of the, and I'll stand by this just because I went back and played older ones, and I think we fantasized in the moment. But I think the Battlefield 1 was honestly one of the best Battlefields I've ever played.
Yeah,
And it probably, in my opinion, is my favorite Battlefield of all time. And I know that's crazy to say because so many people enjoyed Battlefield 3.
yeah, Battlefield 3 is still the best.
But yeah, like I respect that 100%. But I just felt like the execution of Battlefield 1 was just so perfect. And it was really the Battlefield that pulled people away from Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I don't know what the numbers looked like, but I'm pretty sure Battlefield was doing better than Call of Duty, and that was really a good turning point. And I think that they lost a lot of people when they hit that corner where they dropped into let's do back to back World War games. You know what I mean? They had like
Yeah.
World War One, and then they were like, okay, well, maybe let's dabble into World War Two now, and it just did not. It fell flat. Battlefield 5 fell really flat, and it wasn't that one World War II.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Okay,
and it was like majority focused on the Pacific Theater.
yeah, and so it just really didn't receive well. And then this was their kind of comeback story, like, hey, we're going back to what you wanted, and I haven't lost hope yet, but man, is it so important to have a good initial drop.
Yeah.
Because to get those people back is really hard to do. And I felt like that's what happened to me with Battlefield 5. Man, you couldn't get me pulled in for the initial release. And so I just moved on to better things.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that they can find a way to save this. And to be honest, I don't want to say it's a lost cause yet because that new game mode really had me excited to check out more on it.
What
And,
the drop in? I forget what it's called, but it's
yeah,
like,
I felt like we were having pretty fun as a squad with that. It was
yeah.
just we really didn't upgrade our weapons enough to be efficient,
Yeah, I'd say
and
so.
and that's pretty important. But go ahead, man. You were telling me about some other big news with Xbox Bethesda that recently and the reason I say power to the people is because people were constantly complaining about uh Battlefield and how it wasn't receiving well. But that is one thing that Battlefield's really good about, and that team with Xbox is just, or not Xbox, with EA is that they're like really good at listening to what people have to say about their game and trying to be proactive with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so enough people said something that they're like, okay, we'll revise it. And the same similar thing happened with some other games.
Yeah, so like Bethesda, so many people are giving them trash talk about Starfield. Uh Officially Todd Howard came out and he was like, "Hey man, like we get you guys aren't super happy about Starfield, but it's still coming out." Because they've been working about this game for a while. And
Yeah, they're like, look, we're not pulling the plug. Okay.
yeah.
I don't care
Well,
what you got to say.
and to be honest, even though I feel like it's No Man's Sky or No Man's Skyrim,
Yeah.
I do think it's still a game worth to check out. but enough people harped on it that they came out and said as soon as Starfield drops, there's like actively progressing on Elder Scrolls 6, which will be in Hammerfell. And that
Yeah.
was just like, and he just dropped that, and people were like,
Oh wow. So he announced exactly where it's gonna be. So where's Hammerfell at in comparison?
Hammerfell is like the desert area,
So would that be
like
the Red Guard?
Redguard. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm sure they're gonna incorporate more because I mean Hammerfell is like pretty small compared to like
Would
Skyrim
would
and Cyrodiil.
yeah, would that be like the same place as like I don't know, the Argonians or what?
Uh, I don't know. We'd have to pull up the ESO map because Elder Scrolls Online actually has a whole map of every country. I
Yeah.
think actually, I th- Hammerfell is actually close to like Daggerfall, so like Breton area, like southwest area, like the islands, desert, mountains, all kinds of stuff. So actually, I think instead of Hammerfell, he actually announced as Daggerfall, like the Daggerfall Covenant.
Yeah.
So that'll be sick. And then bigger news on top of that is he said after that one's finished, we will work on Fallout 5. And then he hinted towards New Vegas 2 because Obsidian is involved. And Obsidian is like the most legendary fucking Fallout makers, honestly, in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like they're Fallout New Vegas is still my favorite Fallout to this day. The only reason I can't play it is because I have a hard time with going back and playing older games with their graphics being so hazy.
It can be difficult because it just yeah, it's like going back and watching uh older movies and like
Yeah,
you try to appreciate them and to some extent you can, but then you also see like the obvious bad editing and
yeah.
the stuff like that. So you said Hammerfall. I see
Hammerfell,
Hammerfell. I was gonna say I see Hammer Home.
Hammer Home.
Yeah, that's actually a place on the map.
What? I want to see that. This is my hammer house. A lot of hammers. Here's my closet of designer hammers, construction hammers, nailing hammers, drywall hammers.
they just they just have their own factions.
Yeah. Well, and
So
Elder Scrolls is really focusing on Bretons right now, I've noticed too. Maybe just because there's really no, you know what I mean? Bretons, if I could compare Bretons lore to a TV show, it'd be like Game of Thrones, essentially.
yeah, well, it does look like the Red Guard are going to be like pretty heavy on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, that is their home. Trying to find some other people that also are represented in that area.
Yeah. Morrowind is like Eastern. So Argonians, I'm sure there's going to be Argonians. But you know what? Actually, like High Elf territory is going to be there. High Elves, Bretons, Red Guards.
Yeah, it's right on. It's actually, let's see, bordering Hammerfell is High Rock,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Skyrim,
So
and Cyrodiil.
Skyrim.
Yeah,
Skyrim is like northeast.
yeah, but it touches Hammerfell.
Damn, Skyrim might just be like that big of a fucking country. I don't know.
Well, I'll go ahead. Boom. There's the map for you guys, just so you can kind of see exactly what I'm talking about, or what we're talking about, rather. But that is kind of what we're looking at as being the map for Hammerfell. And so a little bit of some areas that we're able to see are there's big cities in Hammerfell being like Dragonstar, Skaven, Elenir, Sentinel, Hel what is that? Helgath, Ghislaine, Tanith, Rahad, or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's some major cities in there. But yeah, High Rock is that going to be northwest, northeast Skyrim, and then southeast Cyrodiil, and then it's ocean to the southwest.
Right. And that's if you remember like the initial reveal for Elder Scrolls 6, like them even saying, hey, it is being worked on. It
Mhm.
was a view of those giant mountains of High Rock and then peering down at the desert.
Yeah, the Skyrim's one of those like there's simply one of those games that I wish I'm like glowing right now because this article is so big that I pulled up. Skyrim's one of those games I wish that I could just see a movie of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in that same breath, you're like, leave it alone. But there's so
Yeah.
much lore to it that you wish there was just a movie you could watch. Which
Yeah.
there are people out there that kind of provide that. But I was trying to look into. It looks like there's 4 major factions in Redguard. So maybe that's why Hammerfell is the way that they are, is because you have the Crowns, the Empire, the Forebears, and the Restless League. Those are all inner factions amongst the Red Guard, it looks like.
Hmm. And that's
So
on top of the Brotherhood, it's going to be in there. Dawn Guard,
yeah,
Thieves
there's
Guild, Fighters Guild.
yeah, it looks like the Crowns are Red Guard nationalists who want Hammerfell to remain independent, rivals to the Forebears. The Empire, cue music. The forces.
Oh, jeez.
Hold on now.
Oh, jeez. They
The
just stole
forces.
the script off Star Wars.
The forces of uh Tiber Septim, who has conquered Hammerfell following a civil war between Crowns and Forebears, allied with the Forebears to defeat the Crowns. The Forebears are Red Guards who have accepted the Emperor's rule. They are rivals to the Crown and allied with the Empire, but gained little at the end of the Civil War. And then the Restless League is a group of pirates based out of Stros Mackay, with
Yep.
with a secret connection to the crown. They have weakened the empire through raids and piracy. Bro, I almost want to go with the Restless League.
Hmm.
I just think it'd be cool to be a pirate because depending on what this has, because they're not going to add pirate ships, right? I mean, it just seems a little silly to think that they
I
might
mean,
do
half the map could be fucking ocean. I don't know.
that. Yeah, that's
That would
true.
be insane. But
Yeah,
like, don't think Hammerfell's the main focus either,
right. Yeah,
because
I'm
High
just kind
Rock
of
most definitely is.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of reading into some of these, like with this stuff coming out. I like all these rumors, so I just kind of reading into them.
Yeah,
People, these are some possible factions. Some people are thinking about Aldemary Dominion.
yeah, because the
Uh,
fucking the mountain.
yeah, the Lost Legionaries, Nova Orsinium being a faction. Looks like there's some orcs within that.
Mm-hmm.
The left-handed elves separates themselves completely from the right-handed. The iron wheel. um,
You know who
I
the left-handed elves are, right? You've
is
seen
that
their emblem all over the place.
no? Is that the high elves or
No, dude, the fucking bloody hand that's on like doors and shit.
oh? That's why they call them the left-handed elves because they only put the left hand. Bro, the
Dark
Restless
Brotherhood.
League is gonna be a big faction. It is. Uh, yeah, those are some of the factions that people are talking about. If you guys are familiar with those, so yeah, I'm excited because this is news that so many people have like really talked about for a really long time and wanting to know. And like we said, you're gonna get more than just Hammerfell. It's just that's going to be the primary focus because I'm seeing even maps where people are distributing the like who owns what part of each region. Like, what
Yeah.
is the empire? What do the people think is going to be, the Aldemiri Dominion portion? But all of it's going to be speculative. It's nothing's going to be set in stone.
To say
And
that the Aldemir Dominions there is a little weird.
well, this is like south of Hammerfell is where they think the Aldemiri Dominion is, not actually in it.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
mean,
the
that makes sense because it was the Aldemir Dominion, the
it's like
Daggerfall
the
Covenant, and the Ebonheart Pact.
yeah, this is like the entire map where they
Yeah.
think, because you got High Rock, you got Skyrim, you got Hammerfell, Cyrodiil, Valenwood, which is where I wish they would have went, Elsewhere, and Alinor are all the major ones.
Yeah.
So that is the map.
Dude, they should have saved Oblivion for like such better graphics, man.
Yeah, where did Oblivion take place? Was that the one
Cyrodiil,
that was Cyrodiil?
dead ass in the middle.
Yeah, they should have waited. So what was Morrowind?
Morrowind.
Okay, where's that at?
That's
I'm not
Argonian,
as
so like
okay.
Eastern.
Okay.
Because it's like if you think about it,
This is
it's Morrowind is in the Ebonheart Pact, so it's northeast. It's like Skyrim, Morrowind. Who else is in there?
yeah, I was trying to
Maybe
see.
the Khajiits. I don't know.
I was trying to find like the actual big map. Yeah, because there's more that they left out. Because then you got the Black Marsh too.
Yep, that's all Argonian controlled.
Yeah, it's so crazy how much they put into this. How much it's really blown up.
Yeah.
I'm really considering diving into ESO again.
To be honest, I've already downloaded it and started playing.
Yeah, but you're not playing with anybody, are you?
Cody,
So what faction did you guys pick?
Daggerfall.
Okay. Did you look up any builds? What are you
Just a
going for?
stamina Templar. I'm
Like
a red
healing?
guard. No,
I kind of want to make another healer build again, but I just also kind of want to look up what the top build is for the time because man, there's just so many of those. But like, I
bro,
really
you don't
enjoyed
even
healing.
have to go PvP though. Like you
I
don't.
know, man, but it's so fun.
It
It's
is
so
it
fun.
is a lot of fun, but just so you know, ESO did implement where you can have two different builds in one. So you have one bar for PvP and one bar for PvE.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Yeah, I enjoyed having like a healer build though whenever we were in PvP because like I would just be running behind the line like just healing people like crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so really good, exciting news, man. I mean, when you talk about uh, one of the most sought after games, and we've been dealing with versions of Skyrim for the last like 5 years, anticipating the announcement
Yeah,
of this game.
that's such a horrible like business move. Or maybe they did it on purpose to make us
But
like start the
Skyrim
fiend for it.
4K, Skyrim Ultimate Edition, Skyrim VR, Skyrim VR with really cool headset attachment.
Bro, they
I
dropped
don't
a
know.
25th year anniversary. That's when you know. Like, bro, just fucking
Yeah, just release it.
God.
Yeah. So definitely. And did he didn't even release a time frame though, because they
No,
haven't
never
even
do.
started working on it. So that's the part that scares me is that you're
Well,
probably honestly not going to see this game until like 2024, 5-ish.
I will accept the 2024, honestly. But my thing is Starfield better hold me until then, bro. Or
Yeah.
else fans are gonna be beating down their doors.
I can accept that it's going to take a little bit, but I think that we've gotten to the point where it shouldn't take that long. And I know that sounds crazy being from somebody that's not on that end of it, but I feel like they've got a big enough team together that it
Yeah.
shouldn't be that long. And they've had enough time where enough people that have worked on Skyrim and or at least been a part of that team has a lot of ideas flowing around.
Yeah. Well,
It's
and
been over a decade.
they already showed the landscape, so I imagine the ground is done. So it's going to be all about just adding the side quests and everything, which I guarantee you there's someone physically right now working on that. I'm betting you.
Yeah.
But since Obsidian is making Fallout 5 and not Bethesda, they might be done even faster.
Well, I hope. I mean, it it just I think that it's been enough time that I just want it now. Okay. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
So
Bethesda's like one of those companies where they make good stuff and like we just continuously want more, but they just like are not fulfilling that right now.
yeah, for sure. Well, in other fan news or power to the people news, another game that we've been playing a lot being that of Fortnite. We've really been grinding trying to get those Darth Vader skins so that the whole squad can be kitted out. But I've been enjoying going through and actually really enjoying playing that game to a point where I'm trying to knock out challenges.
Yeah.
And but they, a lot of people have asked for certain skins and there's certain things that they're interested in. Looks like Naruto is going to be getting a feature. So there's going to potentially be some Naruto skins coming.
Yeah. Well, Naruto's
And
already rolled through there.
well, they're going to be rolling out some new ones here soon, and I forget some of the other ones that they were also talking about.
They're
I
bringing
think
back
that
Rick and Morty.
yeah, they're also talking about bringing in some more Star Wars characters.
Oh, sick.
So yeah, be on the lookout. Some more skins coming to Fortnite.
Goodbye,
And
paycheck.
yeah, I've been really trying to connect all the snappy stuff. I'm like one arm set away, and then I have in a couple days gonna be having some more stuff come out for it. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Hoping some chest pieces and some
Yeah.
leg pieces.
Speaking of Fortnite, shout out to Ariel for getting 2 dubs
Hey,
back
shout
to
out
back.
Ariel. Almost had the third.
Almost, dude.
But yeah, man, some good news was definitely floating around. So I'm excited. Do you have any plans for any new games that you want to dive into story mode wise? Like any story based
uh,
games? There's so much.
no, not really story mode. I'd have downloaded a few new games. Actually, you know what? Story mode. I want to beat Back for Blood.
Yeah.
Like I want to beat it, and I have it downloaded. I re-downloaded The Forest, Elder Scrolls, and Battlefield 2042 already.
Yeah. Okay. You re-downloaded Battlefield.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Just because
Yeah.
they dropped a free map on there, and the free map actually got really good reviews. People just wish there was more.
Yeah, I just need to figure out my external hard drive and get that thing worked out. And then I would not mind re-downloading a bunch of stuff because there's just way too much on it right now. But for some
Yeah.
reason it's not working whenever I connect it. So but well, all right, man. Uh that being said, a lot of good stuff going on right now. We're curious what you guys are playing with all this news that's being sent around with a lot of people asking for, better, do better. And so that's exactly what some of these gaming developers are doing. They're just trying to make things better. So we're wondering if you're cycling back around playing some new games, or maybe you're cycling around playing some old games that you never had a chance to play. A lot of that Xbox Game Pass is filling up with a lot of good stuff to check out. And PlayStation, Sony's trying to do their thing too. They're revamping their pass as well. So I'm
Oh
looking.
yeah, that went live like a week ago, didn't it?
Yeah, yep. They're
What they
trying.
do?
Well, I'm not too certain on the details. I just know that they were trying to add a lot more stuff and provide more with the pass so that it's
Yeah.
not so limited. Because before it was like okay, but it just did not have anything. But they got to do something because Xbox is way too good.
Yeah, the Game Pass are just killing the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where competition is it's gonna be good for us because us as the gamers, we're gonna be benefiting from the rivalry.
Yeah. I just hope they don't go back to console exclusives because I'll start screwing people again.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I guess it looks like as of June 17, or I think that was just one of their articles that they released, but they just added in like a bunch of games. So referring to some of these articles that people are kind of looking into as of June, Bloodborne is on there,
Oh
Arkham
shit.
Knight is on there. Uh Scrolling through really, Doom, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's one I would definitely download. Dang, okay. Marvel's Spider-Man, and Miles Morales.
Oh,
Uh,
damn, that is a good drop.
yeah, Outer Wilds, which is a game I really, really wanted to play. So I might have to reboot up my PlayStation here soon. Uh, some other ones: Returnal, Tetris Effect, Uncharted 4, Lost Legacy, Until Dawn, Wolfenstein: New Order, and these
Oh,
these are
I,
just some of the ones that this article is kind of referring to. So,
yeah. Did you see a while back that the dudes that made Until Dawn announced a new game?
what game?
I don't remember the name of it, and it's probably just really deep in development right now. But if you have never played Until Dawn, play that shit, dude. Play that.
No, I have. Until Dawn's a great game.
Yeah.
Sorry to pull focus. I do remember what this pass was. We had talked about it before, and it was because they had a tiered system, which I still don't agree with because you got one price point. Well, I guess there is a kind of a tiered system with Xbox, but you still get so much for the base price.
Yeah.
But they just have a tiered system with 3 tiers, and you get PlayStation Essential, Extra, and Premium. So different games are available, but I think they also added in original PlayStation, PS2, PSP, and PS4 era games are
So
all now in the library. There's up to 700 games they added.
that sounds amazing. Now, my question would be, you don't have to look this up, but like, what are their price points? Because the to for me for PC Game Pass, I pay 11.99 for the base or 14.99 for the ultimate.
Let's see. I'll just look it up real quick.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, if the premium's anything over 14.99, I'd be like, just go Xbox.
Yeah.
Same games besides the PlayStation Essentials, but honestly, if you haven't already played them old ass games, I mean, you can probably wait. You'll find them for 19.99 at Walmart, guaranteed.
Yeah. So the base one, PlayStation Plus Essentials, is $9.99 a month, $25 quarterly, or $60 yearly. Then you go to the PlayStation Plus Extra, which is $15 a month, $40 quarterly, or $100 yearly. And this so just for a reference point here, so I'm not just throwing them under the bus. Essentials tier is going to have same benefits as PlayStation Plus are getting today, such as 2 monthly downloadable games, exclusive discounts, cloud storage for saved games, and online multiplayer access. Okay, what should not be okay. PlayStation Plus Extra provides all the benefits from the essential tier, adds a catalog of up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4, PS5 games, including blockbuster hits from our PlayStation Studios catalog, and third-party partners games. An extra tier are downloadable for play. So that's the $15 a month. The PlayStation Plus Premium is $18 a month, 50 quarterly, and 120 for a year. And that's the one that adds 340 additional games, includes PS3 games available via cloud streaming, a catalog of beloved games available in both streaming and downloadable options, and the original PlayStation, PS2, and PSP generations. Offers cloud streaming access for original PlayStation, PS2, PSP, PS4 games. And then time limited game trials will also be offered in this tier, so customers can try select games before they buy.
That pisses me off. Cloud streaming, bro.
Yeah.
You remember how shitty cloud streaming is on PlayStation?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really that impressed.
Ugh,
And maybe this is just because
that was
I'm
their
reading
flat
it
pack.
and I don't see it, but this just does not seem like something that I think really competes with Xbox.
Bro, deadass, if I'm playing PlayStation 1 Spyro and that motherfucker freezes on my screen, I'm throwing that PS5 in the trash.
Yeah. Well, to think that you have to do, and maybe I'm reading into it wrong, but to think that you have to pay the extra $5 a month just to have access to PS4 and PS5 games. I mean, there's nothing
Well,
that
that's kind of dumb in a sense, anyways, because I have PlayStation Plus on my PS5 and I can already download my PS4 games to my PS5.
yeah. So maybe they consider that separate PlayStation Plus, so that's why they don't include it. So I don't know. It's really weird, that tiered system. I think that it really kind of makes it to where you're gauged to only be able to do the $18 a month option. If you want every access to everything, which I think is what a lot of people are going to want to do. Either way, it's $15 a month. Xbox is giving you brand new released games for $10 a month, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
and well, that's the difference, dude. Is PlayStation's giving you old shit, Xbox is giving you brand new shit that no one's played.
yeah,
You make that choice.
yeah. It makes it hard. It makes it easy for me on PC, because I get access to a lot of both of them. But
Yeah.
it's just a very odd, very very odd way to go about it. But hopefully people talk, they'll be able to get it done right. But
Yeah,
I
power
don't.
to the people.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I am very impressed with Sony's take on that. So
At least not by the article.
yeah, but all right, everybody. I think that just about does it for us on our time here on Dubkast today. We appreciate y'all for joining. Make sure you guys head on over to Facebook and give us a follow and keep up with us on there. We try to update and talk with you guys as much as we can and get some engagement through there. But you can always go follow and drop a sub on YouTube as well if you want to keep up with us. Now, remember, if you guys like watching the podcast, head on over to Spotify just as much as you can on YouTube, and video options are on both. So I try to also I try to also throw in some surveys and some Q&A, some fun engaging stuff on Spotify as well if you do use that. If you're just listening to us on Apple Podcast or any other streaming platform, hey, we appreciate you just as much. But as far as our time goes for here, we hope that no matter where you are or what you're playing, we can get you one step closer to clutching that dub. We'll see y'all next time. Later.
See you guys.